Hi, and welcome back to Paper Clip Wine Time. Woo! Well, welcome back to our show. We have been laughing for a few minutes for a little background information.
Bloopers.
We will be having bloopers coming up eventually. And I think I have enough footage for an entire episode full of bloopers. So let's get to the wine. Otherwise, we're never gonna get there. Today, we went to the market.
We were running errands and we ended up at our favorite supermarket,
Winko.
or it's Winko, but I used to call it Winko. It's a good market, decent prices.
Yeah, very decent prices.
It reminds me of Costco, like -10. Like it's just,
yeah,
you could,
for the normal folk.
yeah, people that don't have to pay a membership.
Exactly.
And I do like the fact that their stocks are owned by employees.
Yes.
So it's kind of like a credit union.
Yeah.
It's the credit union of marquetas.
Yeah, the supermarket. And it's awesome because that does encourage the employees to give it their best and make sure that they're representing a good market.
Every time I've gone there, everyone has been happy, cordial, helpful. I've never had a problem with them. And
They own it.
And the fact that they have barrels of candy.
I'm not complaining.
I know.
But as we were there, we were strolling very casually away from the wine aisle.
Way away from the wine aisle. We were by the carne. We were by the meat.
Yeah, by the meats and the orange juices and whatnot. And, you know, this little bottle just kind of popped up.
Let me just get close enough so you guys could probably see who the homie is.
That's
right there.
The man.
Right there. This is a Cali Red by yours truly. I'm just kidding, not yours truly.
At 19 Crimes, Cali Red with Snoop D-O-double-G.
And this paper clip here is going to put the cork, the picture of the cork,
on our page.
On the page, so you guys can see how badass. This is the best fucking cork I've ever seen. Ever.
That is the coolest, most legit.
Like, bitch, I got my face on a cork. Like, who could say that? Snoop Dogg can. But
and hopefully one day we will. Hopefully one day. That would be nice. Huh? That would be my face on the cork.
Okay. But we're excited just because it's part of our today's topic, which is music and its influence.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and get this. Oh my God! Look at this signature. What? Yeah. It's got Snoop's signature. You know this is gonna be on my collection of just bottles.
Yeah.
But this is one of those legit bottles.
This definitely contains alcohol. You could have 14.1%.
Yeah, we're gonna be tipsy tonight.
And chorro negro tomorrow. Let's go.
With pride, because it's Snoop
D-O-double-G.
So let's go ahead and enjoy her favorite part of the night, the pour.
It's like the heavens open, the angels come out with a glass of wine to say, Miss Eileen, here is your offering.
I don't know what made her think she was a saint, but okay.
I'm a saint. Damn it! Ooh, someone's sleeping over! Someone's sleeping over.
Maybe not here though. I might need to go somewhere and say, you never know.
El homie, mira, y es de Long Beach where I came from. Well, I didn't come from it, but I lived in LBC.
Yeah.
I love Long Beach. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers to you guys.
I love this one. Ooh, it's a bit dry.
Just a tad bit, and then a little bit of sweet. And the aroma of it is
very sweet. I like the aroma.
Yeah, it's very, very sweet.
And I mean, technically, just for anyone that wants to get technical, this is not how you drink wine, but we don't care.
You're supposed to be swishing.
Yeah, we'll swish.
And then we grab it like it's like what is it, cauldron? right?
Yeah,
No,
cauldron.
the cauldron, right? And not an actual glass. But it's okay.
That does taste different. When you do just like a little bit and you kind of switch it around, I can feel the wood from the barrels. No, you can't do it. Try it. I'm not kidding.
That's my face right there for you. Oh, I don't like that. I like just to swallow. Throw it back, girl.
You heard it. You heard it directly from her mouth. She likes to swallow.
I did not say that. Those words did not come out of my mouth.
Alright, guys. So, once again, as you can see, we are outside enjoying this nice fall weather that Vegas has to offer, which is very
Rare now.
Very rare.
Because it took forever for it to come. I mean, last week when we did the show, it was still a little
It
was
warmer.
breezy and it was fresh. Now it's a little chilly, but it feels good. I got to bring my beanies out.
She's rocking her leathers.
Well, my pleathers, girl, because
Girl, I wasn't going birdie like that, but okay.
No, it's not because of that. It's because no animal cruelty in this casita.
You see, she's got her pleathers and I got my pleathers.
Leather and plaids. Yes. Enough jokes aside, with our today's episode being music influence. And the influence.
Some stories.
Yes.
Some, like they said on that post that I shared with you, some music cheese-make.
Some music cheese-make. We all love that cheese-make, girl. Something her.
Alright, so our most
the first one was the first one. Your first one is really juicy.
Like you don't even know which one I'm gonna say.
Yes, I do.
So today,
stupid, trying to play it off. She can't, guys. She does.
Okay, so what happened was.
Don't she
So with the
tea, girl, tea, bring that tea out.
Mira, mija. So
girl,
el chisme.
Say.
So you guys know already that Selena's story is going to be coming out on Netflix, I believe it is?
Yes, it's a mini series.
With a mini series. So it turns out that one of the creators, or one of the producers of the Selena movie back in the 90s, actually is suing Abraham Quintanilla Sr. for... And Netflix, yes. For breach of contract on a contract that was signed back in the 90s after Selena died for the rights to any story, miniseries, or second movie having to do with Selena.
Yeah.
So apparently, Abraham Quintanilla got together with Netflix, they did this, and they completely ignored the contract that had been signed in the 90s. So this gentleman is suing for breach of contract. Claiming that he is losing approximately $1 million because of the action that Abraham Quintanilla and
Netflix and AB can fucking afford to pay him $1 million. Get the fuck up. Give him his $1 million, keep him pushing, and make everybody who is quarantining right now happy by bringing out the Selena series. Period. That's
mad props to J-Lo, who portrayed Selena really nicely.
Oh, yes.
But I mean, I kind of forgot it wasn't Selena at certain points.
I know, me too.
Yeah, I mean,
like I went back and when I saw it, like maybe a few years after it came out, and I was just like, I mean, this is when J-Lo was still kind of like skyrocketing a little bit. So I didn't put two and two together. Like at that time, like, oh yeah, J-Lo did play freaking Selena. Like she looks just like her. She played her so well. And I mean, and when I saw, remember they were doing the casting for it, and all these young women were out there. There were so many women out there that looked just like her.
Yeah.
And they were dressed just like her, but I mean,
especially with a big fat red lip, like.
Yeah, but J-Lo had it, girl, because J-Lo was a dancer, a singer, big booty hoe. I mean,
yeah, and she obviously had the discipline ready
and the talent, because I mean, she was over there dancing on
with her busticaca.
I forgot about the busticaca.
Yeah, busticaca, you know.
I love the busticaca.
And it's funny because J-Lo did use a busticaca when she was in Living Color. You know, because Selena didn't bring it into fashion. It was just like, hey, that's Selena's thing, you know, and it's crazy. But yeah, so that's our first achievement of the night.
Yeah. The second one, it's not really a cheesemate. It's more like an. There has been a picture of Alice Cooper, Mr. Rock God himself, feeding the homeless, and the picture is of this like 10-year-old boy with his plate out, and Alice Cooper is handing him food, but it's going viral for the reason that this kid does not know who he has in his face. I mean, if it would have been anybody in his era, they would have been freaking out.
Yeah.
But the fact that he's not wearing his makeup, so like his image of Alice Cooper, the rock star, was not there. He was doing his job, his duty to help, feed the homeless. But it was just so funny, and everybody has been going crazy about it because everyone, like, obviously in my age group and a little bit older, loved Alice Cooper, and they're like, this kid has no idea who is standing in front of him. But at the same time, he doesn't care because Alice Cooper is just any other person in line, just feeding them and helping them to be there. But it feels so good, kind of with last week's story with John Bon Jovi.
Something
helping out. And I know there's a lot of famous people and all the artists that do have their own organizations and nonprofits and help out in their own way, but it's always nice to see like these like rock stars, goth looking like totally different from what their image is as a rock god to like what every day they could be doing,
Yeah.
So it was just good to hear, like, obviously they're still out there doing their thing, doing their duty.
I think that's kind of awesome also. The fact that this kid is oblivious of who he's standing in front of and serving him food. I find some sort of form of adorable on that picture because this picture is gonna be out there. When this kid eventually bumps into, good music, classic music, good rock, he's gonna be like, oh, wait, that guy was this guy? Like, I think it's really adorable how when he listens to Alice Cooper's music and everything and sees him, he's gonna have that like, oh shit, like,
he said me!
It's like, and that'll be a very nice memory for him. Like, okay, this is cool, this is a little piece of my legacy that's intertwined with Alice Cooper.
Yeah.
So I think that's really awesome.
Yeah.
Yes. So, another story that's out there now.
Oh God.
I just heard a couple hours ago. Is the Super Bowl lineup for 2021. If you haven't heard because you're sitting under a rock like I was most of the day.
You were not sitting under no rock. We had you like pata de chucho driving around. She was helping me run errands today. As per usual. I'm sorry, this cold weather's making me a little boogery.
So it's official. The Weeknd will be the halftime show performer at the 2021 Super Bowl,
which is 2/7/21.
Which I am now wondering with COVID and all this,
they're gonna have all those people out there.
Yes, I feel like I'm sure he's still gonna put on a great show, but it feels kind of like.
Did you see his performance on MTV Music Awards?
No, I haven't watched any of the awards. I feel like
it's kind of sad. I'll be honest, it looks kind of sad, but I feel everyone is trying to do their best to keep it as normal as possible, even with COVID. But he did perform on the roof of, I wasn't sure it was an Empire State Building or I don't know what, but he was up there. Helicopters were flying around by himself. Like, he did a great job, and obviously with the special effects and like the editing and all that stuff, because it was. Some of them were pre-recorded, and some of them were live. Or not live, but like pre-recorded or whatever. A few minutes ahead of time. And Keke Palmer is the one who hosted it, and she did an amazing job. And she looked so freaking cute in all her outfits. But he did a great job. And then they also had like a boy band. I can't remember who. And then a reggaetonero, I don't know, J Balvin, I think it was J Balvin and somebody else, was performing, and people were in their cars, and they were on stage, and they would get off the stage and run and dance on top of people's cars. Yeah, at least the boy band did that, you know?
Oh, okay.
So they were trying to keep it as normal as possible, but being protective of everyone. So I think they might do something similar with the Super Bowl so that people could still be part of it, but obviously you can't put a freaking car on the freaking... Come on, the cars on the field while there's going to be a game right afterwards, you know? So we'll see what the NFL comes up with, but I'm sure there'll be something good.
I hope they do, because I mean, the NFL halftime show, the Super Bowl halftime show is like, yeah, that's
the reason a lot of people watch. That was the other ghost. He's warning us.
That's the wind.
That's the ghost, girl. Agarra las patas. Las patas, no la cuca, boy.
Yeah, so to me, I kind of feel like it's always been my experience that when it comes to the Super Bowl and the Super Bowl halftime show, the halftime show is just, well, the Super Bowl is just the game that takes place during the concert.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So that's what I'm kind of like,
I think a lot of people agree with you.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people agree with you. I know that I watch it. I just like doing the Super Bowl just because I try to make really good food, and then, you know, we'll all eat and hang out, and I day drink by myself because it's usually on a Sunday, and Bob doesn't drink on Sundays. But I mean, it's just a drinking day, and then my whole excitement is to watch the commercials, and then the halftime show.
Yeah.
Period. Ya todo lo demás, I'm like, ¿quién está jugando? No sé. No, si no son los Niners, no sé, no me importa.
Yo no sé nada. But yeah, no, I thought, you know, good luck to the weekend.
Oh my God, I can't wait. He's a good performer. He's a good performer. He has great music.
That time that he did, I can't remember the name of the song, but it was that song from 50 Shades of Grey, and he had all the girls right there having naked. I was like,
of course you would be from 50
Yes, from 50 Shades of Grey.
Snoop Dogg, you got me fucking. I feel like I'm rapping like he is. I love Snoop Dogg. I could never have thought that I'll be drinking Snoop Dogg's juice.
Hey, I like the way. That's a good way to think of it.
I never.
Snoop Dogg's juice.
What's it called? Drinking gin and... What's the thing? Gin and juice? I have no rhythm.
Gin and juice. Lay back with my mind on my money and my money on my mind.
I'm not good with rhythm. Unless I'm dancing it. Then I'm really good. Other than that...
Woo!
Girl, gave you a hot breath. But, well, moving on from our juicy chismes and gossip stories in the music industry, with today's episode being about music influence, I know that growing up, I had all types of music influence because of the elders in my life. One being my mama, who loved listening to Mark Anthony,
Cheyenne.
Oh my God. Told me bringing my daddy into this.
Oh, okay. She never listened to Cheyenne? Tu pirata soy yo.
Luis Miguel.
Y tu mar es mi corazón.
La Sonora Dinamita, back from my countries. Not United States, y'all, because that's my country too, but you know what I mean. La Sonora, you know, listen to a lot of cumbia, salsa, merengue. Elvis Crespo, remember him? With his glasses look like an alien.
Suavemente, bésame, que quiero sentir tu
I don't know the
radio,
rest of it.
besándome otra vez.
Remember El General? Oye, mami, quiero esas caderas.
Muévelo, muévelo, que sabroso. Muévelo, muévelo, como lo vas. Ven a bailar, ven a gozar.
But yeah, you know, with a lot of the Latin infused music. My mom would, you know, get up early on Saturdays and Sundays and ponerte a limpiar, cerota, tardes. And, but then I have, like, my grandmother was into Charlista, you know? But then I had my dad, who was, like, a freaking hippie who loved The Doors and Led Zeppelin, Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, and influenced me, like, you know, with that music. And then my mom coming to the States when she was about 16 years old. And I was born in 86, and guess what Cecilia I was doing? She was out at the clubs at LA. So she was dancing to Cyndi Lauper, you know, and all those 80s dance electronica music, you know. And then I have my amazing uncle and aunt who were into rock en español and rock, and, you know, rock and roll and stuff. And then you have Maná, you know, and with them it was El Silencio, that's another band that I can think of. And then, you know, being in LA and South Central, I was growing up in going to Thomas Jefferson High School and got really influenced, one, by No Doubt when I was at like 13 years old. This was before high school, and obviously they were more into like ska. Yeah. But then I discovered Mexican ska, which like hit me with my roots because they sung in Spanish, but it was still angry music. And I used to go to, you know, backyard shows in LA with like local bands, and one of my favorite bands who are now really popular is South Central Skankers. And then, you know, Viernes 13. I loved it. Viernes 13. JP is a singer of it, but you know, it's like it influenced me a lot, and it gets me in my moods. But you know, depending on what I'm listening to, that's my mood for the moment. Yeah. And that's one thing that I fell in love with, because, I mean, there's different eras of music and different styles of music that you get influenced by in different types of ways. And no one has to be in that one box of what type of music they're into. Yeah. And that's one thing that music does. It brings a lot of people together from different backgrounds that would probably never be together or talk to each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think it's very interesting. I know a lot of the bands that you mentioned, like Maná, that was my first concert. Like, that was my first concert ever, and I was like, oh my. And of course, I loved Fit and Alec, you know, I was like, ah! Yeah. I do remember Maná was, like I said, my first concert. My uncle, God rest his soul, took my cousin Rosie and I.
How old were you guys?
I was 14.
Ooh,
14.
Yeah.
He drove us all the way to Santa Barbara, to the Santa Barbara Bowl. Ooh, from LA.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful.
And then drove us all the way back. He waited for us outside of the venue. Got us amazing seats, like basically in the center.
And that was her dad?
Yes.
Rosie's dad?
Yes. You know, we had amazing seats. I mean, I ended up smelling Fed when he walked by. And like, ah! You know,
a los 14 años ya le picaba el culo. Jenny, su hija, Jenny.
But you know, it was an amazing experience. But so, you know, I understand that influence, because I know Maná and not all of their music hit me.
No, yeah, no.
But there was some songs like
some of those words.
San Blas, you know, dude, that's a beautiful one. You know, when you listen to the lyrics, and I think that
mine was Mariposa. That was
Mariposa Traicionera. Yeah, to me, Mariposa Traicionera, I think I like that song. I don't like the meaning behind it.
Yeah, of course.
But there's a lot of people that like it because it is a very nice tune.
Yeah.
The tune, the music behind it is gorgeous. When you listen to the lyrics, it's not that gorgeous.
It's not, but
So I kind of laugh at people when they're like, I'm just telling Mariposa Traicionera.
Oh yeah, that I would never say. I think there's actually someone on Instagram that I saw the other day that's named Mariposa Traicionera.
Right? I think I've seen a couple of people like that. Like, okay.
Yeah.
All right, mija. But, you know, so that's one of the bands that I was influeed by. And also, like you, growing up in a Hispanic home, I grew up listening to Vicente Fernandez. I grew up listening to...
Really? Well, because I wasn't...
Me and my dad,
yeah, because you're Mexican. Yeah, well, yeah. I didn't get that Mexican influence until I was, like, in high school. And my cousin was working at a car dealership, and all his friends were Mexican, going to El Parral.
Oh, God.
What's the other club, that Mexican other club that's,
I was not really big on clubs.
Oh, no, really?
No, but I know, I heard of El Parral, and I was like,
Yeah, no, I used to go to Palo all the time in high school. I used to get
what was that other one?
El Rodeo.
Really? El Rodeo was like that? No, there was one that was close to my house. It was pretty famous. I didn't like it.
Obviously, you don't remember the name.
I went there one. No, it's a very famous one. I went there with my ex. I want to say it's Leonardo's because they play a lot of like vaquero music to me.
Leonardo's does not only.
Well, the times that I went, it was.
Wait, where is Leonardo's Safa?
There's one on Vermont by Adams.
Okay, so
there
used to be one. They actually had 3 locations, and 2 of the. So it's fucking.
There was that one, and then there was one on Florence.
Oh, Manchester. Okay, so those 2 también were like Mexican / they had like their cumbias and all that stuff also. But the owner, there was actually 3 locations, but the 3rd location became very like hipster because it was in Mid-Wilshire, and that's the famous taco spot that I started going to for happy hour because it was around the corner from my job. When I was working at Wells Fargo, me and Alfonso, AJ, remember Alfonso? We found it because we were going to go get a couple of beers on a Saturday afternoon after work, and we couldn't find a bar, and he didn't have his ID. So I went in there to ask for a beer, and they didn't ID me, so then he came in and he asked for a beer too, and that was the end of that. That was in 2010, and then it turns out...
Wait, isn't that the one on Coronado?
I think
Coronado,
it's on that main street. Oh, no. Yeah. Well, Wilshire's near it.
Yeah.
Wilshire's like 2 blocks or right up.
I want to say it's on... No, not 6.
It's on La Brea.
Okay, I don't know. I'm thinking on that one.
There's one... ¿Sabes dónde está Danny Trejo open...
Oh, those are his tacos?
Yeah, like Danny Trejo's tacos. It's like 2 blocks up from where his is at.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's before you get to Wilshire, off of La Brea. It is.
Yeah.
So it is not. It's not far from like 6th Street. It is. Yeah. It's between like 2 lights.
Yeah, but I was thinking more towards Coronado, going towards downtown.
Oh no. It's literally like mid-Wilshire area, and the owner of Leonardo's owned that place too, and they monopolized on that place. And he actually ended up gifting it, I think, or his daughter took over for that location and turned it into like something different than Leonardo's, because Leonardo's was very paisita, very, locals, and this one became more like hipster-ish. But they have like really good tacos and really good happy hour, and literally pretty much all the jobs that I ever had, I took all my coworkers there. I celebrated my birthday there a couple of times just because it was fun.
And if you find good tacos, you gotta take advantage.
Leonardo's is the first place that I danced that song. Ready? Tubo, 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 tubo. On stage with a dress on, because I was that chick. Yes, was.
What a basic bitch.
Was. Big W. Big capital.
This is whatever. Like for whatever major you
just throwing gang signs. It's perfect for the Snoop Dogg bottle.
Hey, I'm an early 2000s, like late 90s, early 2000s. So
I'm kind of. I'm only 2 years behind you, and I don't remember
still around the Clueless time. When Clueless.
I remember Clueless.
Yeah, but your Clueless is still in elementary, middle school.
No,
I'm Clueless in middle school,
high school.
I was closer to high school and Clueless.
You were doing this in high school?
Yeah. Like, whatever. Yeah. If you watch Clueless, it's all in there.
If I would have said whatever to anybody in my neighborhood, they would have shot my ass right then and there.
As long as you're not doing this for whatever. Because that's not the right time. It's whatever.
What the fuck? Alright.
So,
hold on.
So,
Leonardo's, and that was your... That was the one off of Adams, you said?
Yes.
Okay,
the one off of Adams is where I went with my ex.
That's where I danced my tubo.
We went there, and I didn't like it because I was like, oh my god, it feels like
so
this Yeah, and I was like, I felt back then, this is early 2000s, I was like, I feel like they're trying to still be like the clubs from, say, Scarface when it comes to the decoration.
Oh, girl.
The
Jazz.
I was like, no.
Okay, so when I first went, was it, you said early 2000s?
Yeah.
I probably was in, because ya tenía Isabela, I was already working at Wells Fargo. This was in 2011, 2012, 13, okay? You know who I went with? Karen from Wells Fargo. She's the one that took me. She took her mama with us, and then a friend. And they're the ones that encouraged me to get on stage. And obviously, you know this bitch don't back down from fucking dare. Back then. I do now. I do now. But it was still the same atmosphere.
Yeah, it's the same thing. They really did it. They hasn't changed that I know of. Another place that I would go to, and I went to once, maybe twice, was La Zona Rosa.
Zona Rosa, where's that
I
one?
don't think it exists anymore.
Probably doesn't.
It was...
Where was it at?
Rosa, where was Zona Rosa at?
Get away! Lost. Get
I want to
away.
say it was at somewhere big. Like big and lost in area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, technically south, but yes, north.
Yeah.
For me, it's like.
I mean, I might be completely off, but I remember going there maybe once. I want to say maybe twice, but I think just once. And I was like, I can't.
Really?
Yeah.
What was it? Like very pricey?
It was very paisita, like very paisita. Like,
Really?
you know, like you could tell sometimes, you know, when the paisitas just came into town and they're just trying to find like the spot.
Okay, tell me why that's almost every, not to like diss it, because like I said, I loved it. I saw Jenny Rivera, I saw Lupillo Rivera. I'm into that shit. But what I'm saying is, I'm not dissing them. But every single Mexican, you know, ranchera, you know, type of clubs is always very paisita, in the sense like it looks like everybody just got here from Mexico and like has not. Which, don't get me wrong, those are your roots. Be proud of it. Shit, I have a pair of cowboy boots that I try to fucking rock somewhere. But you know, for me, it's like every type of those clubs always looks the same.
Yeah,
there's
but I
nothing
think
that makes
to
it
me,
different.
La Zona Rosa was more, even more so than Leonardo's, because when you walked into Leonardo's, you could see, you know, like, oh, you know, this is my lady, I'm bringing her to dance, you know, like, señora, you know, like, I'm trying to impress esta ruca, you know, me la voy a echar al ratito, you know, whatever it is. You know, but they
wouldn't say
like
even
I
know that shit.
I don't speak that currency, okay?
I do something in it with pleba, so that doesn't count. I think I just like, you know, like adding and subtracting. That was like a minus plus a minus. It cancels itself.
But yeah, you know, when you go to Leonardo, you know, they usually come with a date. And La Zona Rosa, it was like, this is the girl side, this is the boy side, and everyone's like, down, you know.
And they gotta take their coca off the floor, okay. But it's just something with us Latin women. We always gotta look fly. Fucking the highest heels, the tightest dresses, the shortest little skirts, tetas hanging out. I mean, it's just who we are. But I feel like, you know, paisita women, like, go all out. You know, with the jewelry, with, you know, the makeup and all that stuff. Don't get me wrong, I'm not hating on it. I love it. You know, you do you, boo-boo. It's just not my style. But did I try to fit in when I was in high school because my cousin was taking me to all the Mexican clubs? Yes, I did. Best believe. Bitch at fucking 14 was wearing 5-inch heels como una stripper walking in con el pegadito vestido así. And all my cousins, friends who were 21 and over would always hit on me, even though I was 14, 15 years old. Kid you not. Because I was throwing that sex appeal out there, but that was part of the music. That was part of what I was into at that time. But being music at that time, I was still a rockera at heart. Like when I was going to school, I was still wearing Doc Martens and Vans, you know, with my big bell-bottom pants like a groover. And, you know, my pants with the cargo pants, because those were in style, because I was like a skater girl. Like, it was just, I was a messed up childhood. Music had all these influences in my life that influenced how I dressed every single time. So every day, till this day, I could be from 70s hippie with like high-waisted bell-bottoms, or I could be 50s with my sling dress, or I could be a rockera with my Doc Martens and leather jacket. You know, it just depends on my mood, and music has always been that influence in my life that has done that for me.
I personally haven't felt, I mean, I feel influenced by music, but when it comes to my appearance, I don't think I've ever really been, had music influence my appearance.
Really? No?
No, because I'm extremely basic, and I mean, you know this. I have jeans and a t-shirt and I'm cool. Yeah, like, if anything, I'll have like a pretty top.
Yeah.
You know, when I want to feel pretty. Or, you know, like right now with the sweaters, I'm like, you know? But I could be rocking this and be listening to Mana just as much as I could be listening to Vicente Fernandez or Elvis Crespo or La India, you know? It's like, it doesn't affect me. Yeah, like it doesn't have anything to do with my appearance. When even, I mean, take for example my wedding. Like, even my wedding didn't affect my appearance. Because I was like, I'm going to wear comfortable shoes, wear a comfortable outfit. I regretted it till like a motherfucker. But I was comfortable. However, like I said, my mother-in-law and her best friend, you were thinking they were going to go pick up at Leonardo's or something. Like, they had that cut like all the way towards the Gucci. Like, yes. I'm like, dang, lady, this is your
no thing. Shit like that. I mean, for me, fashion and music has one to do with the other, just because, like I said, depending on what artist I'm listening to at the time, what I'm feeling, what I'm influenced, I can be really angry and be listening to like the Misfits, or like I'm gonna wear like my Doc Martens tight skinny high-waisted jeans, a crop band t-shirt, and my leather jacket and a flannel. I was listening to grunge music with Nirvana, and I'm wearing my short shorts with like my stockings, my Doc Martens, and like, you know, my crop top t-shirt and all that. So let's be honest, most of my outfits have crop top t-shirts, even till this day during the winter.
Even if they're not crop top, she'll make
all my shirts end up in crop top. If it's holding with a colita, I cut it, or I tied the shirt together. All my shirts are crop tops. I don't know. Don't judge me on it. It's just what I like. But you know, depending on that, it influenced my fashion sense, in a sense where I can sit here and say that my fashion sense is like very open, like very abroad, where I'm not just a basic girl. I shouldn't say basic, or just a girl who just wears just blacks, or just a girl who wears just, you know, very goth, or just a girl who dresses very rockabilly. No, I like it all. I will dress up. If I want to wear, well, maybe not like, you know, Jordans and stuff like that and jeans. I really don't wear Jordans. I don't really wear tennis shoes. Vans are like my go-to tennis shoes just because my flat foot is comfortable in Vans. Everything else hurts. But I would wear Vans and like a regular, you know, t-shirt and jeans if I want to. But then the next day I could be wearing like be all dolled up and be 50 style, like a pinup, you know, whatever. It's just really, music has influenced a lot of my style in fashion also. And I really, really love the fact that music has all these different types of genres where it's never one narrow thing where everyone has to think the same. Like, you could be 70s country to like 80s, you know, dance electronica to dance and house music for the raves. You know what I'm saying? It just depends. Girl, I've been a raver too. I was wearing the little short shorts and the pasty. Well, not pasties. I never wore pasties, but
I saw you wear those wannabe fur boots.
Not wannabe fur boots. They were actual fur boots because I made them.
Oh.
And they're called furry.
She's a furry.
I have furry boots. Okay, yes, I wore those bitches too. I wore short shorts and tangas with fishnets and bralettes. And what were the
busticacas?
Busticacas. I think I still have a busticaca because I wore it with the leather jacket. You know, like I spinned my raver outfits with like 50 style outfits. Like, it was just, that's how music influenced me so much that it influenced my fashion also.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, sometimes I do wonder, like, hey, you know, maybe music influenced me more than I thought it did. But I'm trying to think back, and I'm like, I think the only time where I changed the way that I look, in the sense like, oh, you know, my dressing or anything, was when I was basically trying to find myself after, like, at one point during high school, I went for this whole goth look for maybe like a week.
I was all excited.
That's when I got my biker boots. I had my biker boots. I would wear black jeans and black shirts and like black lipstick and black eyeliner.
I could do that tomorrow.
You know, and I was like, and I would just be like that. And I have a couple of pictures like that where I'm just like very sad and very like quiet and very somber. And it's not something I even like, because you know me, I can be serious, but like, you know, you can
only when she's made.
Even no, like in a picture, if I'm serious, like you can kind of see my smile shine through, even though it's not a physical smile, but you can see me, and you know, you can tell that I'm happy. Like, hi.
You could see my smile shine through.
No, but when I was in like my little goth phase, like I see those pictures and I have them hidden for the same reason, because I'm like, I don't look right. Like to me, I didn't look right. I just looked like this sad, depressed, like mad person.
I was like that too. I had moments like that too, where I was literally sad and depressed in middle school or in high school, and my fucking clothes represented that. And I loved that fact that I could play with fashion as much as I can play with my music.
Yeah, no, I didn't like that, because even though I was going through my issues, as you already know, I was going through my issues, but I didn't like that. I felt like I was getting more attention, and I didn't like it. Because, you know, and my mom and my aunt and everyone knew how I was, and I was like this happy-go-lucky person, and I always smiling and always helpful. And when they started seeing me dressing like this, they kind of went like, what's going on?
Yeah.
You know, so that kind of called the attention I didn't want. I kind of wanted to be like, okay, I'm just going to dance and brag, maybe I'll just disappear, no one's going to see me or think of me.
It brought more attention.
Yeah, and it brought more attention, and I did not like that. I did have my phase, and I was trying to be like the grown-up, you know, because I think everyone, and I know my sister Erica, even in my quinceañera pictures, like she's trying to dress like she's a 30-year-old executive, you know, with her power suit and shit, and I was like, what the fudge? But I did that too. And I was like 16 or 17.
That was my banker phase.
No, that was me 15, 16 trying to wear, you know, like the banker suits basically.
Really?
Yeah. And that was me trying to find myself, and that's when I realized, I was like, I don't need to find myself because my ass ain't lost.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck it, you know, and given the, you know, the circumstances I grew up in, you know, and my godmother being like we enjoy going to the thrift stores, and my mom getting me whatever she could get me, and you know, and sometimes I was the clothes on my back were clothes that were donated or, you know, gifted to us by my mom's bosses.
Yeah.
So sometimes I was rocking some bum ass clothes, you know, like my power suits and stuff that were like $600. But because I was the only one that could fit them, I was like, yeah, baby.
You know what? It's funny you say that, because I remember my mom's box. Like, my mom always, you know, she was a thrifter. Now she's too bougie for it. Whatever, Cecilia. I'm still a thrifter at heart. But I remember her taking me to Goodwill. Yes, I remember, but I loved it. Like, that's why I got into thrifting, because of my mom, right? But I remember her boss had given her a bunch of like band tees and stuff like that. Obviously, me not knowing a lot about certain bands and artists at that time, I was only 12 years old. I only knew what I knew at that time. I wasn't exposed to a lot at that time. I had this Rod Stewart t-shirt, and it was, okay, first of all, Rod Stewart, come on. Fuck. Yes. Rod fucking Stewart. It was a black shirt. It looked pretty cool. At Rod Stewart, I remember, and it's funny because the girl that I went to middle school with, who I still talk to, or we've still like had contact with, on Instagram. Recently, I was wearing a Rod Stewart shirt that I have, another one that's a white one. She said I first posted a picture with me in that shirt. I remember in middle school when they used to make fun of you for wearing a Rod Stewart t-shirt. And I was like, oh my God, like I knew I wasn't just dreaming that. I remember the boys always making fun of me. I wasn't like your typical girl that was cute and all the guys wanted to date. I was a tomboy. I was proud of it. I wasn't at the time, now I am. But this Rod Stewart t-shirt, and I remember I got so much slack for it that I got rid of it. And I regretted it once I got into high school and I discovered Roxanne. I forgot the rest of the words right now. I'm tipsy. But, you know, it's like Rod Stewart came out with some bomb-ass music. And I did not know how to appreciate it at the time because I didn't know who he was. And once I discovered him, I fell in love. If you think I'm sexy, I don't. Come on, let me know. So, you know, I fell in love with him, and then I'm like, dude, why the fuck did I let these stupid kids who don't obviously know good music, their stuff in their boxes influence me so much to the point where I threw out this badass fucking band t-shirt that I could have still had till today and be like, vintage, you know?
Like, seriously, vintage.
Seriously vintage, you know? Yeah. But it's like, same thing as you, like it was just hand-me-down from my mom's boss, but I cherished it so much at that moment when I got it, because it's like, oh man, a band t-shirt, and I did not know who the fuck he was, and I got made fun of it.
Yeah. I only wore one band t-shirt, and I got so much shit for it, and now I crack up at everyone when I see them wearing that same fucking t-shirt.
What is it?
Backstreet. Well, from my school, we had a very small high school.
Well, you guys have that K through 12.
Yeah,
K through 12.
So
what was the name of it again?
Fauché.
I had a friend who went to Fauché.
Back then, I think I had 2 Backstreet Boy t-shirts. And I would rock them because I was like, oh yeah, Backstreet Boys.
I told you I was a closet band boy.
Yeah, I was never closeted when it came to a boy band. Never closeted. I was like, fuck yeah. And
Paris.
I was in love with AJ, and I was like, oh my god, AJ. And he was always like in the middle of my shirt, so I'd be like, you know, but
I never was into boy bands like that.
Anytime that I was like in the high school yard, which is what we called it, because it was like this
they separated you guys, yeah.
And then it was only for high school, so it's like we can hang out anywhere. But that was like our little picture spot. So I was like, alright, cool. I would have like classmates and whatnot. I'd be like, oh my god. And then when Backstreet Boys came back and they toured with New Kids on the Block.
Backstreet Boys are back!
Yeah, I'm like when they did the tour with New Kids on the Block. I love them too.
Yeah.
So, oh my god, I was dying seeing, because I had already started Facebook and I was like, alright, cool, you know. And then starting to see all the girls that would talk shit to me about rocking Backstreet Boys, talking about, oh my god, I can't wait to go see BSB. I was like, I thought BSB was lame.
What?
I was like, alright, cool, whatever, you know. Like, you do you, boo-boo, you know.
Yeah.
But I was like, ain't that interesting that you were bullying me because of my preferences?
Yeah.
And here you are, being
all of a sudden, a band girl.
Yes, I was like, oh, whatever, you know. And I personally did not get to see Backstreet Boys live and in person
until adult. Yeah, until you're adult.
Yeah, I'm like, so now
ya que están viejos y quebrados los cerotes.
Quebradas tus nalgas. Tan buenos, they're still good. Look at AJ, he's still in Dancing with the Stars right now. And he's rocking it.
I definitely never liked AJ. I didn't like Nick. I didn't like 98 Degrees. I hated 98 Degrees.
But
I despised them. Nope.
I liked all the boy bands.
Low key, I was only NSYNC and Britney Spears. Those were my only go-to.
Oh no.
But Britney Spears, I saw her live when I was 16. I didn't tell anybody. I hid it from everybody. I did tell people I was coming to Vegas because we were coming to Vegas on a road trip show. My mom's boss was doing the gift baskets, and she was pretty much a roadie for Britney Spears. And she was at the MGM Grand, and so we came. My mom had to come to like help her out with like last minute stuff, and she got her a room. but my mom left with her, and I and myself and my brother were able to come with two of my boss's, my mom's boss's neighbors and their daughters who were younger than I am and were definitely Britney Spears fans. And they rented an RV, and my mom let us come in the RV from Redondo Beach all the way to Las Vegas with them. And I just remember I was in the RV listening to Blink-182 and Sum 41 and Green Day and Smashing Pumpkins. Going to a Britney Spears concert, did not tell anyone I was going there. Once I got there, like, you know, we had really good seats because, you know, Britney Spears had given her tickets for all of us. We had really good seats. I was like, ah! And it was for the I'm a slave for you. So that I had seen her making of a video on MTV, and so I was like, oh, okay. And I would, but like I said, low key was a Britney Spears like fan. My brother, being like 8, 9 years old, was like, what the fuck is this shit? Wanted to leave. Called my mom, left. I was there by myself with the older guys and the daughters, and I was just like, ah, you know. But then as soon as I got back to the hotel room, like, nothing happened. No one needs to know.
No one will ever know.
I was not here. Love you, Britney. You know. But it was just because, like, kids were mean.
Yeah. But then they're the ones that jump on the bandwagon all extra late and trying to claim that, oh, I've always loved him. Like,
yeah.
No, you didn't. You bullied me. That had a kid spill his chocolate milk on me when I was rocking a Backstreet Boys shirt.
Really?
Because he was like, oh, they're fucking gay.
What a dick!
Oh, yeah.
What
I mean, but I stood my ground because I was like, I don't give a fuck. I'm gay for them too. You know, like,
I'm gay for them too.
You know, but it got to me, and I was like, but a lot of their music to me, it made sense. Yeah, it meant something. It was beautiful for me to know that, hey, you know what? They're gonna have an album, and the album's gonna be $17, but I'm gonna babysit for 2 months and put all my money together so I can go and buy the album.
Really?
Yeah. I had all of their CDs.
Luckily, my mom always like make sure like she would take me to Hot Topic, which is a place to be to go get all my like CDs and like my tapes. Sometimes I did get tapes, but my mom would always take me to Hot Topic, and I would buy my Korn, NOFX, Papa Roach. I mean, these are like Papa Roach. Yeah, Papa Roach is amazing. But you know, like all these bands that I love. Because I felt in tune with, I was an angry child, but not really. Like, it was weird. Like I said, it's just my mood at the moment.
Mood, yeah.
I just enjoyed the mood. Like, yeah, I'm angry, fuck the world. You know, the next day it's like, I love the world. You know, like that was just me. Like, I just loved everything all the time. Like, I never liked to be put in a box of like, this is what you are. This is what you like. I never liked that. So I was just always like,
yeah, even nowadays, I don't think I like that box. Because, I mean, you're around me a lot, and you know how eclectic my freaking taste is.
You get annoying when it comes and I shouldn't say annoying. That's the wrong word for it. What is the one thing I do like about you? You find you like this randomly, the most random shit song that has nothing to do with what's going on in your life during that week pops in your head, like, you know. Suavemente, and then it's like you're stuck on Elvis Crespo for the rest of the fucking day.
Yeah.
So you like get tired of him, and then like next day it's like you're stuck on another song. So like it was like one day we were listening to Frank Sinatra, and like the next day we were listening to fucking like country music. And it's like, you know, it's very eclectic. It is very eclectic, but I love the fact that you get stuck on one song. It's like, oh, fuck it, I gotta listen to the artist for the rest of the day. And it's like, no, bitch, can we change it? And you're like, no, bitch, we're stuck on this artist today. You know, and I'm just, okay.
And today's topic is?
Yes.
Frank Sinatra.
Yeah.
Or Roberta Flack for the whole day. And that's what I like about my style of music, because I don't stay with just 80s, 90s or anything. Like, I can go back to, like, the 20s. If I have a few artists from the 20s.
Who?
I can go to classical music.
Oh, no, I can't do that.
I can go to just piano concerto.
That is one thing. No, that's the second thing I could not go to. I cannot do classical music. That's and it kind of sucks because classical music is very intellectual, very in depth with more of your feelings and stuff like that. But I cannot do classical, and I cannot do, unless it's Blake Shelton and Gwen Stefani together, modern day country music. I love 60s and 70s country music. 80s got a little kind of wishy-washy. Garth Brooks was a really person I did like. I'm not gonna lie, Garth Brooks. But it's like I don't like a lot of 80s, 90s, and modern day country music. It has to be Waylon Jennings. Oh my God, fucking rock star right there.
But Chris Stapleton is awesome.
One song that I like.
I like
song. That's it. You see what I'm saying? I don't like really a lot of more modern-ish music. I guess I'm kind of stuck in my old ways. But like I'm more into like 70s country, bluegrass, jazz, and stuff like that, and I'm okay with that. But when it comes to the modern stuff, I don't know unless it's Gwen Stefani who is like with Blake Shelton and they make a song together. And then I kind of, you know. But do I know Carrie Underwood? Yes, I know. But I don't know many other, you know, country artists. I'm not really into the modern country music.
Yeah, I do enjoy some of the modern country music. Like I said, I do enjoy.
You're a bitch.
Like I was 12 years old.
Today we were listening to modern country music all day. All day.
That was early 2000s, okay? Relax, and that's only country music. Except when he wanted to listen to Blake Shelton or Gwen Stefani. But no.
That's why they put Gwen Sebastian. That's why I was like, that's like, who the fuck is Gwen Sebastian? But it sounded like her. I'm like, and she only said 2 words. So I was like, maybe it's not her. Who the fuck is Gwen Sebastian? Is Gwen Stefani? The thing just can't get popped up wrong.
It just popped up with Gwen.
Yeah.
But no, like I have these random moments when I want to listen to Sebastian Bach. And I'm like,
you see, you know, like the rock.
And that's hair rock, you know. And I'm like, fuck yeah, you know. And another thing, my dad found it very weird when I was maybe 11 or 12. And I found a collection of piano music.
Don't like that either.
And I loved it, and my mom got it for me because it was like on discount, and I kept playing it. And I remember my dad coming into my room talking about, "The fuck are you listening to?" I was like, "Shh, I'm relaxing," because I would just love just to sit, lay down, and just listen to it.
And you see, I'm not a relaxing person, so I think I need to be like either or like or you know, like you know, dancing. I can't not just sit and relax. I've never been that type of child, so that's.
I enjoy that. I enjoy that one chanting.
You see,
you know, like opera music. It's just beautiful to me.
It is beautiful. I just can't. I don't have the patience for it because I feel like I don't have that. You know me better than
yeah. You're a little.
I
bit
don't like relaxation songs. Period. Like when have you ever seen me like sit down and relax? I just can't.
Her relaxation is watching one of the Housewives shows.
Yes, or Leah Remini's Scientology stuff, like, or crime show. I'm just saying, that's my relaxation. Let me sweep and mop and listen to a crime show in the background. That's my relaxation, you know. But for me, like that music, I cannot listen to it because it just, I don't know, I just can't. Like it just can't get to that relaxation mode enough to the point where I can have that music. Or like, you know how they have those apps where like the sound of the wind, the sound of the water.
I like it when I really find myself where I can't, like for the life of me, I can't go to sleep. I will go ahead and listen to it, and then I'll turn it off, and I'm like, shut up. And I'll turn it around and go to sleep. But at one point, I remember as a teenager, back in the days when we had the big old stereos in our room and shit.
I had that shit.
This is before the wireless headphones, so all of you millennials, sorry, we did used to have to connect our earphones.
With the aux?
Yes.
With the aux, bitch?
With the aux. Yes. So I had that, and I would get in trouble.
Did you ever have, did you ever have the portable tape player?
No.
Oh, my mom got me that because I couldn't play my tapes anywhere else but in my room.
No, because my mom had bought me this like stereo system. I had like the entire system and then like two
big ass speakers.
So I was cool with that.
Yeah.
And it was like it wasn't big as heck. It was kind of like this big total.
It was big.
So it was like really cool. And I had like the headphones in there, and I had like the extension cord for the headphones because I would like to fall asleep if they had at the station, and that way where it was just classical music. That's all it was. Yeah. And I would just put on my headphones and go to sleep. And my mom would get mad at me at night or in the morning. The next morning, she would be like, "You're gonna choke yourself to death for listening to that music."
Yeah.
Because sometimes I would fall asleep and I'd turn, and like the cord would unplug, and it was like the whole house like, oh, you know. And she'd be like, "What the fuck is that?" Yeah. You know, so I would get in trouble for it. But yeah, no, like I love that stuff. I'm like, and this is before you can program a sleeper, a sleep timer. So yes.
No, mine like even to this day. I could like fall asleep and I'm like, yo perreo sola.
She has to bring in Bad Bunny.
So. No, that's my baby daddy. He don't even know it yet. Bad Bunny, I will rape you. No, I'm just kidding. Rape is not funny. Rape is not funny. But no, Bad Bunny. I mean, come on. He has the #1 song worldwide right now with Dakiti. So, I don't even know if I'm saying it right. Dakati. I don't know. Whatever. Bad Bunny, you are my energy, my aura, you're my spirit animal. If I was a man, I would totally you. But, you know, it's just, for me, that's another fucking genre that was a fucking big influence. Reggaeton. I was into Ivy Queen, Plan B, Wisin y Yandel, Zion y Lennox, you know, like, these are artists when they first started coming out I was in high school. It would have been like, either in the 2000s, early from like 2000 to 2004. You know, one of my first reggaeton concerts was the first ever reggaeton concert in LA at the Universal Studios Amphitheater. I don't know what the fuck it was called, Amphitheater or something like that. And
Invasión de Reggaeton.
Huh?
Invasión de Reggaeton with Daddy Yankee, Don Omar.
Yes!
I was there!
Bitch, I couldn't.
Girl, I was there!
How I got there, I don't know. My friend came up with tickets. We were sitting all the way in the top, but guess what, Lee? Yo estaba perreando with everybody else in
Me
their
too! I was there with Kelly.
You were there with Kelly? Shut the hell up. I was there with Patty. I was there with Patty and our friend Chris, who is not our friend anymore. But, you know, I was there with Patty because she's the one that got us our tickets with Chris. We were all the way in the fucking top, perreando, como si nadie nos quitaba la puta vida. But Ivy Queen, Don Omar, Daddy Yankee, fucking Wisin y Yandel, Plan B, they were all this was the first reggaeton concert, and it was hosted by 96.3.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That was the first reggaeton concert there. That was like a big major concert. I had already gone to like the lower end reggaeton concerts when they were like at the clubs, you know, and then when I saw Baby Rasta Gringo, Casey Catrachos. Like this was like lower end, like I said, like really low. But I did see Ivy Queen at one of those like clubs and stuff like that, and I got to see her. But this is the first time I saw like MS Cholos that were gay, and they were touching each other, and I was like, you guys been in jail. I know it. Prison. Yeah, I can see it. It's okay. Just stay away from me. You know, but but it was like the first time like reggaeton was really like, damn, this is my cultura. This feels like my music. This is what like I feel like every day. And those were the first few artists from reggaeton that I fell in love with, you know. Yeah. And it was just like,
yeah. I mean, when it came to reggaeton, that was the thing for me was Don Omar, Ivy Queen, and Daddy Yankee. That was big. That was my
Plan B.
I don't think I ever listened to Plan B other than maybe like random songs in there, but
yeah, Zion y Lennox,
Zion y
Baby Rasta Gringo. Girl, I love Baby Rasta. I had a crush on him when I was in high school. I was like, oh my god, he was like 21. I was like 14. I was like, no, bitch, not do that. But you know, reggaeton was another big influence, and I was like, Bad Bunny is a vibe. Like he is like my everyday vibe, and I love him. But then I feel like I said, my #1 influence and band in the world, if you can guess it. If you can guess it.
No doubt.
Oh my god. I'm just a girl in the world. Okay.
That's all that they'll let me be.
So, you know, Gwen Stefani, no doubt, was one of my first top influences ever when it came to like exposing myself to everything but Latin music, because Latin music was a lot in my culture, and like 70s and 80s rock, you know, like
I think as we're young, before we're allowed to actually explore music,
that's the first band that I would explore, and one of the first concerts I went to was the Almost Acoustic Christmas by K-Rock and Korn. Fucking no doubt, Green Day. Sum 41, no, not Sum 41, no, Sum 41's a different concert. But like, you know, those top bands at that Smashing Pumpkins. My favorite Thea in the world took me to that concert, and it was like the best time, and it was the first time I felt like an adult at a concert, where it was just like, this is me, this is my music, this is my surroundings, this is where I should be, you know? And I fell in love with music, like, at that concert. And then after that, my mom would sneak me out of high school because her boss's son liked the same bands that I did, and his mom would get him tickets to concerts wherever the fuck he wanted to go. So my mom would like sneak me off out of high school and say, oh, it's just, you know, I have to take a doctor's appointment. Bitch, no. Cecilia would take me out of school and take me down to San Diego with another friend from high school who was a guy who was older than I was, and I remember he couldn't miss school. So he jumped the gate and ditched his like fourth and like all the way through like 7th period to go with us to San Diego, because we were going to spend the night there, because it was driving to San Diego at that time. By the time we got to a concert, we went to go see Blink-182, Sum 41. And we were there in San Diego with my mom's boss's son, Peter, and we were just all hanging out. And then we go back to the hotel, and it's like right off the beach at night, you know? And it's like, my friend at that time, he just thought it was the coolest thing that my mom took me out of school to go to a concert. You know, and for him, it was like his mom wouldn't have let him do that. That's why he had to jump the gate. You know, but that's how cool my mom was. My mom would take him out of school to ditch to go to the concert.
I'm that cool aunt.
Yeah.
But I know Laura, she had a concert. She loves the boy bands also.
Of course.
So
modern boy bands.
Yeah, the modern ones. So when One Direction had their concert in San Diego, Daddy was like, I don't think I'm gonna go. So he was like, oh, you should take your friend with you, but you know, you're gonna have to find a way to San Diego. And who takes so long? I'll deal with it. So here I am driving not only the 2 girls to the concert in San Diego, but taking my nephew to San Diego to see his godmother. My awesome cousin. So we ended up crashing at my cousin's house.
That was good, yeah.
So I was like, okay, at least I have my cousin's house I can crash in. And, you know, we crashed there. I remember I was driving Uber at the time. So I drove all the way to San Diego to drop off the girls at the concert.
And then you drove over?
I went to McDonald's, got a couple of apple pies, you know, the normal apple pies.
And
I remembered my uncle, because this is after, like, I think about a year after my uncle passed. So, I remember my uncle, and I was like, oh, this is probably something that he was doing when he took us to San Diego.
Yeah, eating apple pies at McDonald's.
Yeah, you know, I was like, oh, and obviously, you know, I had this very sweet, warm feeling, but I was like, okay, I gotta go and Uber. So I did a few fares, and then I was like, alright, it's time for the concert to be over, you know? Because they're like, oh, it's gonna be over at 10. You know, fucking right. That concert went on for another extra hour. Yep. I was like, and I waited for the girls to come out, and it was about, I think by the time that they actually got into the car and we headed to my cousin's house, it wasn't until about maybe 12:45.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna drive. Concert. I was like, I'm not driving back to LA, so we catched up my cousins and had a great deal with her, and you know, I'm very lucky to have my cousin out there, and yeah, and then like the next day we just drove back in the afternoon. We were like, let's go. Yeah. So I know the girls, like, they were like over the moon, like, oh my god. They would not shut up about the concert. But I completely understand it, because so that was me and my cousin when we went to go see my dad. Yeah. They're like, yeah. Did you remember Fred? You know? Yeah. So obviously we didn't have cell phones back then, so we were not able to record.
We can take pictures or I have no... And I mean no history of me going to any concerts or anything like that.
And you couldn't take, well, you could go, but
do you have tickets?
I think I might still have a concert, not for the Mana one. But I think I have concert tickets for the time I went to go see Alejandra Guzman for the first time.
I don't have
and
any.
I was 14
tickets.
years old as well.
I don't have any concert tickets. Everything that I've ever had was either thrown away or pushed away or tossed or burned or something by an ex. So I have nothing. Like, not one thing. You see my one box that I kept, and I really don't even have anything from high school there.
No, I have a box that's full of ticket stubs. I have concert tickets. I have movie ticket stubs.
Yeah.
I have the first time I went to the movies with Robert.
Oh, I thought it was, you were gonna say the other name. I was like,
I have those too. But I have like
bad juju, girl. Get rid of those.
No, because at that time it was good.
Bad
we were friends. But you know, I have the first movie that says Born Legacy, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because like I have like all of that stuff, but unfortunately when it came to my night, I do not have that ticket.
Oh, that's so.
I wish I did, but I don't. But I do have tickets from the time I went to go see Alejandra Guzman at the House of Blues and Sunset.
Ooh! You know that one closed?
Yeah.
It closed like 10 years ago?
Yeah.
The last concert I went there, I was thrown through a fucking loop because I had free tickets to that concert. And do you know who Waka Flocka is?
Waka Flocka? Aren't they rappers?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
So he's a rapper. And the only friend that I would know would like rap or hip hop or anything like that was my friend Natalia, right? And so I told him, like, let's go, you know, I have free tickets. And she's like, yeah, fuck it, I'm down, girls night out. We go, we show up, right? But we have tickets to go to the top, right? Oh no, we did have tickets to go to the top. We had tickets, right? And so we go early. And while we're in line, while they're gonna check our bags, we start looking around us, and her, like, she's only a year older than I am, but she's so mature, right? And she's, you know, black and Mexican, and here I am as a Latina. And we're both, like, the only brown people in line. Everybody else was white. And not only white, but, like, in high school white. So we were just thrown through the loop in line, and so we're like, okay, so we get inside. We go to the bar. It's all white people. And like us. And that was it. And we're just like, what the fuck? You know, like, this is so weird. So when we are there and all the younger white kids are getting all crazy and it's acting like they're at a rock concert in a mosh pit, right? They're acting like they're in a mosh pit during songs when there's no one singing on stage. So her and I mean, at that time, I was like, I'm bougie as fuck. I don't want to hang out with those crazy kids. We decide, okay, so how can we go upstairs? We find the stairs, there were security guards. Eileen did something as far as like showing her titties a little bit to get upstairs so I don't have to hang out with the crazy kids. And I'm like, that's a risk that I'm willing to take. So I showed the security guard my titties, this little flash. Me and Natalia went upstairs. We got another cocktail and we're on the fucking thing watching Waka Flocka, which I still have videos of him. And it was like a mosh pit. He was throwing himself in the middle of it. All these crazy white kids are like fucking hitting each other. And I'm like, okay, I love mosh pits. I love to get in a mosh pit. But I'm definitely not getting in a mosh pit at a rap concert. Like, that was so weird to me. Natalia's like, no, I don't know what these people are doing. My black folks won't be doing this. We won't be hitting each other, you know? So it was just weird. But that was the last time I went to that House of Blues on Sunset. After that, maybe like a year later, it closed.
Yeah, no, I went to a couple of concerts at the House of Blues on Sunset. Actually, the first concert that I went to was, like I said, Alejandra Guzman there. And I got fortunate that my mom's boss was actually the general manager there.
Oh,
so
shit.
he got us tickets. Well, he got my mom tickets because he was like, you know, she was a great employee. So he was like, I'm treating you for tickets. Gave my mom, I believe it was 4 tickets. So it was my mom, my dad, my cousin, Liz, and me. And so you know how they have that mosh area, and then they have people on the side.
Yeah.
So we were on one of those tables.
So you guys were in the bougie area.
Yes, we were in the extra bougie area, but like on the first floor. So it was like, I'm sitting right here, and Alejandra Guzman is right there at the door.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm like, yeah, you know, it's great. I remember that concert. The second concert, I, for the life of me, can't remember who I went to see. I can't remember. I'm like, I can remember going to the bar because I was already old enough to be at the bar.
Yeah.
I remember being at the bar, and I was there with a female friend. And we were like, okay, cool, you know, we're drinking, having a good time. We saw a concert. I cannot remember what it was.
Really?
I'm like, I can't. But I remember seeing Colin, which is my mom's employer.
Yeah.
Right there. And I was like, hey, how are you? And he was like, oh, I could take you guys upstairs and you guys want to go. I was like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
So he would go upstairs and like he was like an uncle. So
yeah.
It was like super cool. Unfortunately afterwards he did quit. He did leave the job. But he was very nice.
One of the other concerts that I remember, and I don't know if my mom won tickets or not, but do you remember Piolín?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So I think it was a Piolín, or who was before him? It was an older guy that was before Piolín.
I know who you're talking about.
He was short, dark hair, kind of like Piolín, but like was older than Piolín by like 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
And Piolín took over that guy's show. So that guy's show in that whatever like radio station they were on in LA, throw their like multiple artist concerts or whatever, and I saw Enrique Iglesias with my mom, my tia, and myself, and like I don't know who the hell else my mom invited, but I remember seeing Enrique Iglesias because they had to put up gates, like those metal gates, and we were like, my mom had won the ticket, so we were sitting in the front. So we had to go through the crowd first to get to the front gate, show our wristbands to get to the front, and then our seats were like separated. So it was like little grupitos. Everybody was sitting in the little grupitos, kind of like what COVID would be right now, I guess. And I remember seeing Enrique Iglesias, and everybody was like pushing the gates and like, and I was like, who the fuck is this guy? You know, and I didn't know who the fuck he was, to be honest with you, at that time. But I remember that distinct.
This has to be back in the days when he had the...
Yes! It was.
Yeah, that's when he first started.
Yes.
I remember like
it was when he first started, yeah.
Yeah, I liked Enrique Iglesias when he had just started and he was only singing Spanish, and I was like, cool. Then when he did his crossover to English, I was like,
I think Ricky Martin was at that concert too. It was like a multiple like artists, like famous ass artists.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen Ricky Martin. I love Ricky Martin. Yeah, so I think we're gonna call it a night because I don't know, my bladder is calling me.
Yeah, my bladder has been calling me. I'm like, look at my beanie. It's like, bitch, go pee.
Alright, you guys. I hope you guys had a good time on this episode, and I hope it helped you reminisce about your first concerts and your musical influences.
Hey, during COVID, music has been
during
a big
COVID.
influence.
Yes. Keep listening to music. It's great. I love it.
Ups or downs, music is always there for you guys.
And it's not gonna judge you.
No judgy, yeah, no judgy music.
Alright guys, thank you so much for joining us. Have a good night. Bye!